Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to the Morale Booster Podcast. I am Dr. John Ugulu, your host. In this season of From Idea to Impact, we will be talking about navigating the journey of an author. We will dive deep into the creative process, the challenges, and triumphs that come with bringing a book to life. In this episode, we are thrilled to welcome our guest author, Sherri Neal. She is an author and a screenwriter. So let's embark on this inspiring journey together. Sherri she lives in Cincinnati, Ohio. She has been an author for almost 9 years, and she has written 48 books. 48 books. Oh my God. Including her life story book titled My Mother Married My Rapist. Oh my God.
Yeah.
In addition to being an author, she is also a screenwriter and have written 2 movies. She has written 2 movies. Recently, she launched her writing course program called ASM Writing. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome Sherri Neal to the Morale Booster platform. So welcome, Sherri. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am blessed and highly favored. You know, every day above ground is a blessed day. So I am well. Thank you so much
I agree
for
to that.
asking. Yes, yes. That's true. And look, your story is very, very unique, very
Yes.
unique. And we will talk. We will. I hope you would be willing to go into some real details about
Yes.
the title of that book that you have. That's a
Yes.
very interesting one. Are you willing to?
I'm willing. Yep.
All right, great. So before we get started, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who's listening to us right now from far and wide. I want to encourage you to please like and share this broadcast. Like and share it because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that our guest will be sharing today. We're not asking you to make any payments to do that. It's free of charge. Like and share, just share it. That should be your act of charity today, wherever you're watching us from. So thank you so much. We are still here with our guest author, Sherri Neal. So Sherri, yeah, you live in Ohio. How's the weather over there?
It's cold now.
Oh, okay.
It'll probably warm
Uh,
up a little later, but it's cold right now.
oh, okay. I live in Georgia, Atlanta. So,
Oh, I lived
yeah.
there for
So,
some years. Hmm.
oh, okay, great. It's the weather is okay, except for where I'm working right now is chilly, but the
Yeah.
weather is good. Yeah. So, thank you. So, let's get started, Sherri. You are an author and
Yes.
a screenwriter.
Yes.
Um, I believe a lot of people know the difference. A lot of people know the difference, but I am at that stage in my life where I no longer enjoy making assumptions. Instead, I like to clarify. I like to get facts.
Okay.
So, for the sake of those people who do not know the difference between an author and a screenwriter, would you mind, just telling them what that difference is.
Okay, an author is someone who write a book, and a screenwriter is someone who write movies
Oh, okay.
or
So you write
plays,
movies.
movies,
Great,
plays, stuff like that,
great,
or
great,
TV
great.
series.
Mm. Okay, okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And now, what inspired you to start writing? And was there a particular moment or experience that set you on that path?
Yes. Well, it started when I was younger. I was molested and raped, and I always wanted to tell my story in a book. And for years, I tried to write it, but I couldn't write it. So one day, I was like, I just thought to myself, like, I'm just about to write books, not my life story book, because I couldn't get that one out because it was too hard to write. So I was like, I'm just about to start writing book. I never thought I'd be an author, neither. Never thought that at all. So I just started writing books, and I've been writing ever since.
Wow, wow, wow. I'll first of all, I would say sorry to hear what you've been through. It doesn't even show on your face. I wish challenges, I wish God could say, okay, let's put everybody's problem on their face. So when people see it, they just know.
We won't have enough
And
room.
there won't be enough room
It
for
won't
that.
be enough
And that's true. So I want to say I'm sorry for, to hear that. But I know you are a woman of faith and a woman of strength.
Yes.
And I know
Hmm.
God has done everything within his power to help you overcome
Yes.
those challenges.
Hmm.
All right. So can you share some of the biggest challenges you faced in your writing journey, how you overcame them?
Oh, the biggest writing faces was trying to write a book. I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know where to start, nobody to help me, nobody to teach me. And I wasn't big on reading. I didn't like reading at all. So it was hard for me to learn how to actually write a book. So that was one of my biggest challenges that I face is learning how to write a book. I didn't know how to do it at all. Sometimes I still had on challenges because you learn something different every day, especially in the writing world. But that was one of my biggest challenges is learning how to write my book. Oh, and promoting it and getting it out there and finding the audience that I wanted to reach for my book that I was writing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so thank you for sharing that. And I know there are so many people out there right now who have a story to tell, and
Yes.
they are currently struggling with the same challenge that you had prior to
Hmm.
writing your first book. A lot
Yes.
of them want to write books, but they don't know where to start from. They don't know how to start. They don't know what to do. Um, so how can one overcome that particular situation where they're stuck at that point where they do not even know what to do, how to start, and where to go to?
What I did, I wrote it as if I was talking to someone like I'm talking to you. So that kind of helped me. So I wrote it like a conversation, not actually a conversation, but I wrote it as if I was talking to someone, and it helped me a lot. But as I start growing, I start writing things down. I will make like a timeline, and timeline helps a lot, especially when you're writing your life story book. It helped a lot, so you could tell from what happened when you was younger. How was your life younger, where did you live, what happened when you was a teenager, life with your parents. That's if you're writing a life story. So that's kind of what I did to do that.
All right, thank you so much for sharing that. And it could be easier said than done, though. So, but however, let me ask this question now. How has your writing process evolved over time? And what have you learned about yourself as a writer along the way? I know you've written 48 books already. So, how has the writing process evolved over time? And what have you learned about yourself as a writer?
What I learned is to take your time writing. I used to rush my work. I used to rush my craft. And
Mm.
I had got under a publisher by the name of K. Renee. I'm still under her too. And she used to always say, if y'all rush y'all craft, then I'm not gonna put it out because I care about your work. So I really started caring about my work, reading of my work. Like I said, I don't like
Mm.
reading. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't like reading. But that's how my craft got better, is reading. Because when you
Mm.
read, your craft get better. So don't be like me and don't like to read. Start reading, because reading help you a lot when it's time to write your book.
Yes, yes, yes. And leaders are readers. So if you
Yes.
want to lead in any capacity, you must learn to read. And I want to share
And
one
all the
secret with,
knowledge is in
yes, and the
books.
knowledge. Yes, and I want to share one
Mhm.
secret with people who find it challenging to read. Like I can read a whole book, within 1 hour. The secret is just read aloud. Just get into a private room and read aloud. It helps you read fast. It's like it helps you. So if I receive lots of books every day from friends, yeah, newly published authors. So I have tons and tons of books. My library is so packed. So in order for me to
Okay.
go through, say, 10 books, 5 books, it helps me. I read aloud. I just pick it up, I get into my office, and I read aloud. Before you know it, I'm done with that book, right? So
Mm.
it's just a secret I want to share with everyone out there. All right. And so that takes me to my next question. What role do you think community or feedback from readers and the writers has played in your development as an author? So, what role do you think community or feedback, both from readers and writers, has played in your development as an author?
Um, Feedback from the writers. I get a lot of feedback saying that I should turn my books into movies. I have heard that before. It'd be different feedbacks. I done had people say they love my books. I had people say they don't like my books, or I'm tired of hearing about the same thing, because what I write is urban fiction, but I really want to go to inspirational. So, um, that's basically the feedback I get. People asking me to help them write their book.
Okay, so but basically, feedback has been very helpful, right? Getting feedback from
Yes,
people has been very
yes. I
helpful.
read all my reviews, whether they negative, positive. I read all my reviews. It
Okay,
helped me a
that's
lot.
Okay, that's great. So now let's talk about that book of yours.
Okay.
The book, it's titled "My Mother Married My Rapist." Do you
Yes.
mind, throwing more light? What's behind that book? What happened? What do people expect from that book?
Well, this book, this is it too, just in case you guys want to see it. Um, I don't know, can you see it? But this book is actually about my life. It's my true story. My mom had met a younger guy. They was about he was like 24 and she was like 44. And they got into a relationship, and as time went on, he started molesting me. And I would tell her, well, we use sexual abuse. I started telling her, she wouldn't believe me. So it got words to the point where he raped me. And it's so this book is basically telling everything that I went through my whole life, basically. And,
Wow.
how I overcame it, and that's basically it. I wouldn't get
Oh,
too much, just in case the readers want to
yeah,
read
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah. So, basically, does the book highlight how you were able to overcome, or does it highlight your healing process? Does it highlight
No,
strategies on how to prevent things like that, or it just talks about your story of how it happened
that's my
and what you
story
did?
of how it
So
happened.
does the book also talk about what you did after it happened?
Um, yeah, it talks about what I did after it happened. Like I had ended up moving to. I ain't gonna tell it all now. You, I ain't gonna give it all away. But end up moving back to Cincinnati because it happened in Georgia.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So that's why I said I lived in Georgia, but I end up
Okay,
moving back to
so
Cincinnati.
yeah. So
Hmm.
are you healed from it now?
Yes, it took me a long time. Probably I healed when I was about 29.
Okay,
Um,
so the
that's why I couldn't write the book. I learned that when I got on my spiritual journey with God. I ended
mhm,
up learning like that's why I couldn't write the book because I was had so much pain, so much hurt. So it was hard
mhm,
for me to really relive what I went through at that time. And I
mhm,
remember going to church one day, and this pastor, the pastor was from out of town, wasn't even a preacher of that church. And his message was to forgive and
mm,
stop holding on to things. And he actually said to forgive people if they molested you, if they raped you, if they beat you, stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's for me. And I feel like it
mm,
was for me. So I had told, well, my fiance at the time, he's my husband now, but I had told him, like, I think God telling me I need to forgive. And he was like, well, if he's telling you need to forgive, then you need to do it. And like, probably for like 3 weeks, I was like, nah, I ain't forgiving because he did it to me. Why I gotta forgive? Because he did it. So
mm.
I finally got up the courage to call, but I tried to be slick. So my
Yeah.
mom answered the phone. I'm like, hey, mom, can you tell such and such? I said, I forgive him. And she's like, oh, hold on, put him on the phone. So she put him on
Mm,
the phone. Like, God was like, no, I want you to tell him you forgive him.
mm.
So I had to talk to him myself and say, tell him I forgive him. And soon after that, I was able to write my book. I
Oh,
started writing
okay.
my book.
Okay,
So
that's
yeah.
great. That's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sherri Neal on the podcast. Please go and get a copy of her book titled My Mother Married My Rapist. Yes, that's the title. My Mother Married My Rapist. Yes, and where can people find this book? Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. And if you want a signed copy, you would just inbox me on Facebook or Instagram. And my name is Sherri Neal, or you could type in Arthur Sherri Marie and I still should pop up on Facebook, and on Instagram's Arthur Sherri Marie.
Okay. So yeah, you can find her contact information. Her Instagram is just in the description. Click on it, follow her on Instagram. Go follow her on Instagram right now. Follow her on Facebook. She is author Sherri Marie on Instagram and Sherri Neal on Facebook. Yes, so thank you, Sherri, for joining us on this program. I have one last question for you before we go. Um,
Okay.
so looking back at your journey, or looking back on your journey, what advice would you give to aspiring writers who are just starting out? So let me give
I
you
would
one
tell
minute
them,
to share one minute to share that. Okay,
okay. I would tell
go
them
ahead.
to keep going. Don't give I would tell them to keep going. Don't give up. Everybody is not gonna like your work, and that's fine. But you have to keep going. Take your time on your craft. Make sure you're scheduling. Make sure you're reading over your word, and make sure what I said scheduling. Just keep going and don't give up. It's because writing, it can be overwhelming when you are writing, and sometimes you might need to step away. And if you feel like you're getting writer blocks, because a lot of people get writer blocks, they don't know what to write or where to go. Sometimes if you move from a different place, like maybe if you're in your office, try writing in your kitchen, or try going to maybe Panera Bread or somewhere, or to a park where it's quiet. Sometimes when you have different sceneries, it help you write better. So, and I would tell you, don't give up. If you want to write your book, write it. Just keep going.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You want me to keep going?
Those were powerful words of encouragement. So do you have a coaching program for people who want to get into who want to write their books?
Yes, it's called a
Oh,
ASM Writing Course.
oh, okay. Okay.
It's called ASM Writing Course, and it's three different packages, and you will learn about formatting, barcodes, ISBN, how to write your book. It help with scheduling. It help with a lot. It's like a whole list of stuff. How to set up your KDP, and on one package, you also get a free flyer for your book or a free video to go with your book that is coming out. You also get promotion, and also on the author package, it comes with things you need to begin your author journey. So it'll have like, like notebooks and pens and different
Mhm.
things you could write on, index cards and stuff like that. It's a lot more stuff in there. I just don't want to tell everything, but it's
Oh,
different
okay.
things that
Okay.
it will have in there for you to start your writing journey.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is still the Morale Booster podcast. That is the person who is with us on the show right now is author Sherri Marie, or author Sherri Neal. We are excited to also share some amazing ways for you to stay connected with our mission. If you're listening to us, I know we're global. I know you could be listening to us from a different continent right now, but there are several ways you could connect with our mission and for us to continue to grow together. So, whether through donations, inspirational resources, or becoming a part of our community, your support and engagement mean the world to us. And we have various ways for you to get involved. The first one is you could make a donation, support our mission, and help us continue uplifting lives by making a donation. Your generosity allows us to keep spreading hope and positivity. Now, you could visit our website, johnugulu.com, to make a donation, www.johnugulu.com, JOHNUGHULU.com. You could also support us by purchasing some of our inspirational books on that same website, johnugulu.com. Or you could listen to our podcast and share it. Share to all your social media platforms. We have some inspirational messages that can uplift you or uplift the people you know. All you need to do is listen, like, and share it. Then, lastly, you can also join our membership community. We have a membership community. You can become a part of that growing community where we uplift and inspire one another every day. You can subscribe today to that community and receive exclusive content on a daily basis. If you want to subscribe to our community, visit the website johnugulu.com, JOHNUGHULU.com. JOHNUGHULU.com. Once again, it's Dr. John Ugulu. Thank you all for joining us on this episode of the Morale Booster podcast. And for you who's listening to me right now, I really don't know where you're listening to me from. Neither do I know what the people around you know about you. I don't even know what you know about yourself. But this is one thing that I know for sure about you. Yes, you who's listening to me. I know for sure that you have greatness within you. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you, Sherri, for joining us. I
You're
hope when
welcome.
next I invite you, you will be willing to come and share some words of inspiration on this
Yeah.
platform.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. My pleasure. All right, everybody, stay blessed and bye for now.